In the headlines, QC Kenneth Momplaisy says goodbye to another Kenneth as the legal fraternity mourns the death of QC Kenneth Foster. The National Security Minister says recently arrested and charged Christopher Hunt is within his rights to sue the government. That is, if he has a leg to stand on. And are predictions of an October general elections correct or just hearsay? All this and more coming up in tonight's broadcast.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
It is Thursday, the 18th of June, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News edition on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, and our Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Rochelle Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us. One Kenneth bade a sad adieu to another on Thursday afternoon as he remembered the life and legacy of an old friend. Moments after the news of the death of veteran Queen's Counsel Kenneth Foster broke, Hot 7 TV reached out to another veteran QC, Kenneth Momplaisy, to share his thoughts. Momplaisy spoke fondly of a man whom he described as a very vibrant, aggressive, and successful lawyer.
His department was more in the criminal law than in civil law, where we used to meet together in the criminal and civil, but he seemed to have branched off in the criminal aspects and I more in the civil aspects. But we fought great battles in the court, and I'm very sad that he has passed. He, in his day, he was well sought after in the Eastern Caribbean, and my heart is saddened that he has left us.
Momplaisy admitted that in the trying times in which we now live, Foster can perhaps be considered one of the fortunate ones, as he no longer has to be part of that fight.
The troubled scene of the legal profession, I think he may have been right in withdrawing himself, though not admittedly so, but nature has brought upon him the necessity of moving away from this kind of fight that's going on in the legal profession now.
Momplaisy said he will miss Foster, not only as a friend, but as a good advocate. In other news, following comments by TV personality Christopher Hunt that legal action may be taken as he was singled out and unjustly detained during Sunday's Island Drive, Minister for Justice and National Security Herman Gill Francis has indicated that Hunt would be well within his rights to seek justice if he feels he was unlawfully detained.
Following his arrest on Sunday, TV personality Christopher Hunt has indicated that a lawsuit against the police force may follow as he believes he was singled out and arrested for no cause. Hunt was arrested and charged for inciting or inviting persons to participate in an illegal event, that is, the Round the Island Drive on Sunday 14th. Hunt has since been released and bail was posted at $500. On Thursday, Minister for Justice and National Security Herman Gill Francis stated that officers at the proceedings were doing their jobs. However, if that decision is to be challenged, Hunt has the freedom to do so.
But that's his right. And that's the beauty about the law. That the police officers in their judgment, based on what the appreciation of the law is, they would have taken action. Good. And now the beauty about the law is now that an ordinary citizen who believes that he has been unfairly treated can go and get his lawyers and then test the matter in court. Okay, because no politician, no parliament is above the law. Okay, the courts have jurisdiction even over parliament.
Francis said the public needs to understand and accept that the court serves the purpose of righting wrongs done within the parameter of the law. He indicated that all the current uprisings, particularly in St. Lucia, were not all necessary, and the grievances could have been brought up in a way that would not contravene the laws of the land right now. But will the government be able to foot the bill of a lawsuit? Francis says there are such provisions made by and for the government.
Every time government makes a budget, the AG's office is given a certain amount of money to deal with these lawsuits. Every government does that. Okay, the Labour Party would get into power now, into office. I don't like the use of the word power. Into office now. When they're doing their budget, they must make an allocation for those sort of court settlements. It's going to come. You remember the court case of the inmates at Bottle, mental. So part of that money will come from there.
The Minister for Justice said he has seen the many videos circulating on social media and will make no judgment as to whether they serve as evidence to whether Hunt should or should not have been arrested. He did, however, indicate that he stands in solidarity with his officers and believes members of the force should not be fearful of making decisions as long as they know they are carrying out their duties lawfully. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzaga.
Members of the public spoke to whether they thought the country was in need of change and how they felt about the island's current state of affairs, given all the protests that have been seen during the extended state of emergency.
Given all that has been happening in St. Lucia of late, whether it be with the extension of the state of emergency, the uprising of various subcommittees with the dissatisfaction of government policies, and the most recent commencement of election campaigns, we asked the public, do you think the country has reached a boiling point and is in need of change?
Well, the government could do better than that. At least the promises they made for within the 5 years they say when they come in there to do. At least they could do better, man. A lot of young people is out of a job, and I guess the government now is their hands in their pocket and they doesn't know what to do, how to turn around, you know. So the government could do better than that. And elections is close. If you want to win the elections, you'll have to come better and you'll have to give people what they're asking for. The curfew, I find from time to time it was okay. The 12 o'clock curfew wasn't bad now, but at least people asking for more, we're supposed to give them what they're asking for.
Of course, they should have just finished with that, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't see there's nothing in the country, no corona, nothing like that. I feel you should just finish with that, right? And let people go about how they used to go before. But putting it from 12 midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning, that doesn't make no sense.
I think, again, in St. Lucia, like you said, we have the two sides campaigning, right? And basically, when you would try to stop, you see, you have to be careful, because the youths of today, the youths nowadays, they probably wouldn't take it like how we do. The youths nowadays are very, very rebellious, and the youths nowadays, they are crying out for justice and peace. And if they do not give the youths nowadays their peace and their justice, it will be total chaos in this country. So with all the political rallies and things, you better do not try to give anyone any measure of injustice in this country. So yes, we have reached a boiling point, because black people all over the world have been suppressed for over 400 years. And it is the spirits of our ancestors, like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and even Nelson Mandela, that dwells within us today, that is causing us to be strong and to be the driving force behind the Black Lives Matters and all this kind of thing. And also, it is our constitutional right, and it is also our democratic right, that you don't need to seek permission to express yourself. Freedom of expression. Why would you want to oppress someone that have the freedom to express themselves? You understand what I'm saying? So we seen you trying to, now I'm not trying to be political here, but you see on both sides, they do things when it is convenient to them, right? And if something is not convenient to them, they would try to oppress it.
If it's time for change, everybody knows it's time for change. And not just change. We really, because the leader we have, he's not working with the people of St. Lucia. He don't care about the people of St. Lucia. He just like, as I'll say, I'm a jackass. I know I'm a jackass. Now, like I said before, I said it earlier, they will implement license on the grass the jackass supposed to eat. So that's what I'm bringing right now. Everybody crying, everybody bawling. It's wrong. It's time for change. He don't have no respect to the people of the nation. No. Do you know what he did to St. Lucia to me? He raped, robbed, and murder St. Lucia. Miss Helen, that's what I see. That going in St. Lucia, because you take all Miss Helen money, the nation money, you give it to people out there. Foreign investors, they say, con men, you know, they call them foreign investors. And look at how we're feeling it right now. We don't have $1. Stimulus package, even our little money we're supposed to get, our rebate. You call that stimulus package. Our money, you owe me my money, you telling me you giving me stimulus package? That's money you was owing us already. $1.1 million, that's rebate money, bus drivers' money. So right now, we need a change. He's not the right leader for this country. You're not the right leader. Alan, you're not the right leader. Not you, not you. Somebody else. Put King there. Put somebody else. But you don't care about black people. You never get mangoes and go to bed. You never walk with a catapult. You don't even know what's a catapult. A catapult is a sleeper. It having holes. You walk in the street with it. That's the only thing. You don't know. No mangoes go to bed. No dry coconut and go to bed. You don't know what poor life is. You don't know. So you're not the right leader. To me, Pierre is the right leader because he's a black man and he feel it already. That's the right leader for St. Lucia. A black person. Somebody that can relate with the people of the nation.
I figure out to myself it's overboiling. Yeah, I feel it's time for a change because I find to myself right now, I find the present government, they are way beyond boundaries, man. You got to tell me you're doing things like that and you know it's human beings that in the country. Yeah. And you even put in foreigners before St. Lucian. Yes, he made not a Lucian. The man is a foreigner. You only there for foreigners. And St. Lucian's just starving, man. I know I'm starving, but then I mean other people they're suffering, man. And the rest of the fellas here have in cabinet, man, have no conscience, man. Yeah, man, that's how it is, man. Because they wanted a change. They get a change. So right now it's all left to St. Lucians to see if they want to change or if they want to leave the same old warheads in power.
I think that takes time. It takes time. It's a processing thing. It doesn't come overnight. So whatever is going on now in the country may be a process in which, you know, change is going to come. But, you know, it's nobody to say, nobody can say, you know, whether it's going to be good or bad. You know what I mean? Just taking a chance, you know, doing what we're supposed to do, doing what we're asked of, you know, and to see the end result.
What I pursuing right now is like, the changes I pursuing is either we get our full quota of passengers, which I said last time, that everybody wear a mask, and because how we have it there, free seats still occupying 3 sets of person, which they said is six feet, and like I said, it's not 6 feet, it's 6 inches. So instead of that, and we paying the consequences because I mean we working and almost half price we're working for. So if the change I need to see, there's numerous change, but I start with my business first, the bus system.
What really happened in there is not really change. It's authoritarianism, so they have no change in that. What happening there right now is that we have been just taken for a ride whereby all our rights have been curtailed. Look, now they send people have to pay tax for coal pit. All them kind of things I've been kind of finding them kind of things kind of stupid. You know, so I don't know what change. I don't know if that change for the better or change for the worse. Because really looking at it, neither of the parties, be it UWB or be it SLP, would make a difference. Because all of them towing the same policy, which is the policy is to please the Queen of England.
Eh bien, moi, nous besoin de changement en pays. Rien pas qu'à marcher, rien pas qu'à faire en pays. Nous pas ni confiance en gouvernement ça là qui là. Et qui ont pas tenu pièce nillement, laisser moun ka faire un petit rallye ka passer un pays pour arrêter ces moun. Parce que moi-même ka ouais, moi-même même manière, si c'était l'autre side là qui était là, et qui aurait fait rallye, personne ne va tenir un bout de Dieu. Même manière, l'autre side là, c'est deux sides Guinée, ka fè rali yo pa ni rien pour yo. Ek set lisi c'est noir tout seul qui là. Set lisi pas blanc. Black light matter ça là, ma supporting. Donc quitter ces moun nan fè affaire yo. Ek yo même l'autre side la fè affaire yo kon yo vle.
I'm telling you right now, the country and black people all around the world have reached a boiling point where they are fed up and they are exhausted, where their rights is being concerned. They are tired of people taking them for a ride. And we will not stand for that, but we will duly stand for the rights of all our people in and out of Africa.
Yesterday I heard the whoever person in charge of COVID-19, the lady say we have the green light. So I see, well, the thing they had on Sunday there, at least the government should have just allowed the police to go side to side, go side by side with the people to go and do their motorcade. All that wasn't called for. I find when the Prime Minister went to Oleon and these other places, it wasn't too good because he doesn't have a mask when he goes to do these things there. And I find right now that the campaigning is already starting. And if you're doing it, why don't want the opposition to do it too? So the opposition is supposed to come out and do it too, you know? But the state of emergency, I feel, the state of emergency, the government should just open the country because the state of emergency is not making any sense. You already opened the borders. Just open the entire country and just tell everybody everything is back to normal. If any case thing there, then you go back and you close it gradually again. But for now, you should just open the country. The state of emergency doesn't make any sense because people is still doing what they have. People still not doing social distancing anymore. Again. Social distancing is not there anymore. You're going in the stores, you've seen people think you've seen gathering. You're going everywhere, you've seen gathering. Social distancing is just not there anymore.
And there you have it. Those were your comments. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
All indications within the last month have been that elections will be called soon, perhaps soon after the lifting of the state of emergency. Whilst it is within the purview of the Prime Minister to select an actual date to call the general elections, the first deputy chairperson of the UWP, Nancy Charles, has indicated that while the party is always ready, elections may not necessarily be called that hastily.
Ever since, Prime Minister Alan Shastney indicated that St. Lucians could be going to the polls soon, there has been much speculation as to what month elections will be called in. And while elections are constitutionally due in June, some assumptions are people will be going to the polls immediately after the state of emergency is lifted in September. Some have even indicated that the Prime Minister has given instructions to the Governor General as to when to dissolve the House. Director of Implementation in the Office of the Prime Minister, Nancy Charles, says although all these assumptions are being made, the Prime Minister is the one who holds the power to make such a decision.
In terms of elections, it is constitutionally due next year. I think it is within the purview of the Honorable Prime Minister to determine the date of that election. But from a political point of view, in terms of the United Workers' Party, of which I am the deputy chairman, I would like to say that our party, we continue as we have always been to put everything in place to ensure that whenever the Prime Minister deems it necessary to call election.
Charles says she would like to dismiss the notion that the government is now carrying out election campaign projects.
The first thing I'd like to dispel is the notion that people are under the impression that the reason the government is going on with those projects is because of elections, and nothing is further from the truth. I think if there's one thing Prime Minister Alan Shastney has been accused of, is always being out there speaking to those various projects that we are now undertaken. He's been speaking about them for a while now, for over a year, for over 2 years in his budget statements. And what we've consistently explained to St. Lucians, we've had many challenges in getting these projects off the ground. Financial challenges, sometimes challenges with your DCA and the approval process, various challenges, but these are not new projects, so it cannot be termed that we're only beginning those projects because of election.
She says the United Workers' Party has been on the ground ensuring that they remain in constant contact with members of the various constituencies throughout their term in office.
We have begun our process from last year. We've begun the process at our constituency level. We've had various town hall meetings. We've had branch elections of our various constituencies. We've also started our process from last year as well in terms of candidate selection. Most of the constituencies have identified who the potential candidates are. We're planning our convention for later this year, and at the convention is where we will be presenting candidates who have gone through the process and who have been approved. So I'm waiting for perhaps later in the year, when we go through the full process of preparing for convention, that we will be making mention of our full slate of candidates.
The convention for the United Workers' Party will most likely be held in December. Charles, however, has indicated that her advice to any other political party is to get their house in order if they would like a chance at defeating the United Workers' Party. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Still to come after the break, brief showers leave Castries flooded once again. The Ministry of Tourism launches a PSA to taxi operators, and the Commerce Minister meets with the NWU and SMJ.